I would
stepped away.
love to introduce Pepper. Pepper is such a treat. Just a little sprinkle of pepper is all you need because
Cute.
she is so magical. She is so wise, and she's so playful too. She really reminds us to laugh and play. And she helps us look at kind of the bigger picture, the stuff that's really going on. And she always has this magical way of bringing in information. Whenever we're on the Vibe Tribe calls, she'll just give her little insight about what she's picking up. And it's always so incredible. And I think she's worked with, well, not every member of the Vibe Tribe person, but almost every member of the Vibe Tribe people want to work with Pepper, have a session with her, because she's so knowledgeable about numerology and what that means. And just being able to tap into greater source of information. And we just absolutely adore Pepper. She just adds such richness to our group. And she is going to be talking about numerology forecast for 2021, 2022, and 2023. And I think when I spoke to her even yesterday, she said, oh, there's more stuff coming in. Like, she's always getting more information. And also a brief summary of hidden meanings within our names. Plus, if we have time, and this is what's so much fun, is she can decode 2 or 3 of our first names from the audience. So we'll be looking at Facebook and also looking here on the Zoom. And let's just have fun with Pepper, because you learn so much about your numerology, your name, all that kind of stuff from her.
We should just, I mean, we're a little bit early, but an extra 5 minutes of Pepper is quite a treat.
I know, right?
So let's do it.
Yeah, stop share. Here we go. So Pepper.
Hi, Pepper.
Pepper,
Hi.
Pepper, come on.
Okay, I have been looking forward to this.
Yes, grab your pens.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I have a number of things to cover. And what happened today, this morning, just a couple hours ago, is I was given kind of a new insight as to how to handle you equal your dreams and visions. Now, in the old world of the 3rd dimension, which is where we've got a foot in the 3rd dimension as we move on to the age of Aquarius, and it gets confusing because the 5th dimension, or where we're going, has new rules and regulations, and we must follow these things. I mean, each dimension will give us all that we wish for if we follow the rules. So let's take some of the new rules of 5th dimension, because if we don't follow those, we don't get much of anything. So the old dimension was, you get crumbs here and there. And so what we've said is, hey, universe, this is what I want and what I need. And now the universe will no longer listen to those 2 words. Now, what is shocking to me is that if you were to listen yourself and become aware, you can count so many times per day when you say, I want this or I need this. And we don't really have words to equate to that are more powerful. We're kind of stuck. And if the universe listens to us for a minute and say, hey, I want this and I want that, they're just going to tune us out and say, oh, that's all victim. I just can't listen to it. So how do we connect now with the universe? So I'm going to give you some handy dandy hints. There are so many of them, and I will be doing a workshop on that sometime in the future. At this point, I'm just going to give you a couple things so that you can enter this new arena and start having everything that would be a wish and a dream now. All right, so number 1 is your name has to be heard in the universe. You have a unique tone. If you don't say your name, the universe really doesn't know that you exist. So when we say I am and your name, that is critically important. So the universe is telling me that at least 10 times a day, it is a must that you say your name. I am Pepper Frye. You do that 10 times. You say your name. Now you may think, okay, some of these things may sound a little silly, but you're going to have to put your judgments aside. So let's say you got in the shower in the morning and you do your 10 times, hi, I am yada da. And you can say it with conviction, you can say it with confidence, you can say it with thinking forward in things that are coming. Okay, so that's number one, 10 times a day, at least say your name. Why? Because your name is your energetic signature in the universe. Only you have that tone. Now, why do I say that? Well, when you say your name and your vibration goes all the way through your DNA and into it scans your body, much like a Healy does, and it picks up your intentions. That's terrific. So that's number one, have to be noticed in the universe. Even if somebody had the same name and birth date, they don't have your DNA. You are special. Okay, so now that we have your name, there's a little equal sign, and it's on the other side of the equal sign is your wishes, hopes, and dreams and visions for humanity and for yourself. Okay, in our current reality, we're not operating with that equal sign. We're just ignoring that. So, if you get some of your hopes, wishes, and dreams, it is shocking to say the least. So, well, let's do it in a way where we connect with the fifth dimension and actually become our dreams, visions, and hopes. Now, we have been saying, I will be confident, I will be wealthy, I will have success in my business, I will have many clients. Well, will means future. We're not talking about now. So instead, let's say I have success. I am wealthy. I have many new clients. I am prosperous. That's what I'm talking about. When you climb into the equal sign, you go into action. You speak now. Okay. So one thing we can do so that you keep yourself in the now, because we always end up either in the past or the future, and the nowness is called present because it really is a gift. So if you find your way out there, put your feet on the floor and ground yourself by imagining that roots are going down from your feet and into the ground. You can do that. Even 5 minutes from now, you may need to do that again because our brain is out in so many other places. So we have to connect with Mother Earth because then we are connected, and take your judgments off of, like you'll say, well, I have a successful business. Well, but if somebody says, well, what's your success? And you go, gee, haven't thought about that. So how can the universe help us to have success if we don't kind of equate what that means? So now this is really good. Step 2, I'm going to tell you how to speak to the universe so that they hear you. I've already told you that you cannot use the word want or need. It won't work for you anymore. So you're saying, well, what can I say to the universe so that they hear me? All right. Number one, if you talk to the universe, it's all the air around you. You know, that's kind of a nebulous kind of thing. It's like air. I don't get it. You know, we all have guides and teachers, but I don't see any of them. How can I talk to them so that they know who I am? All right. So you have to realize that guides and teachers, many of them at some point have had a person or a body on the surface of the earth. So those folks say, oh yeah, I remember when I was on earth and it was hard. You know, we had to make money and you know, we had to kill animals for something to eat. And now many of these guides and teachers have never even had a body. So here you go, you're talking out of their realm. So how do you connect with them? What happens? So what you say is, hey guys, hey universe, this is Pepper. I am boots on the ground. So that they, oh yeah, okay. Then what you say, these are my requirements. Now that is a shocking statement. Now, when I say that to you, I mean, you probably are shaking your head and going, well, that's pretty strong. Well, how are you going to get their attention if you don't say your name and then state your requirements, because these are important to you. So let's go ahead then and tell them, well, you know, if it's US dollars and how much a month or how much a year, how many clients, what your visions are for humanity, that you want humanity to step up, take responsibility for their lives. Well, you know what? We also, this is a law for the fifth dimension, is that we have to take responsibility for our lives, and it is our action that is required here. So already you're stating what your requirements are, and make them bigger than your minimum requirement, because the universe then is working in your behalf. But they're gonna wait and see, are you really in action or not? You may tell the universe or ask many times a day, what else is possible here that I'm not seeing? Okay. So this is really, really important, that we be the source or the essence of our life. All right. So you are claiming responsibility. You are listening for the universe and what the universe has for you. They'll get you on a strange website in the middle of the night, or they'll tell you something maybe through a TV commercial. They'll have somebody next to you in a restaurant. All of a sudden you're going, oh my goodness, that's a good idea. I hadn't thought of that. So it's up to us to take each of those things and look into those opportunities, because opportunities can be possibilities, can turn into probabilities, and can turn into your personal future. This is essential, guys. And so the universe is saying, well, fifth dimension really is that place of delight. It could be a place of heaven. It can be a place of harmony. In the Bible, we're promised 1,000 years of peace. But if we don't act as if we're confident and deserving of these things, we could end up not having anything. Okay, so these are essential parts of being in a higher dimension. So let's go on and move back into, we were looking at the first part of the equation. I am, put in your name. What does that mean? And how can we move forward in that realization? Now we come to the part of numerology. Okay, so if we look at your name, for instance, your name has specific value to who you are and to who you act out as this person with this name. You are a person within the soul having an experience in this dimension, and you are learning things. Okay, so let's look at joy and happiness and fulfillment. We can have that in a hot second. Then learn your lessons from that vantage point. So let's go back to your name. You have certain vowels and certain consonants in your name at your birth. Numerology says, well, let's look at that and let's see who you are. So in a workshop that I have coming up on the 23rd of June, which I'll tell you about a little bit later, what we're going to do is you're going to have a do-it-yourself program whereby you can look at the vowels of the name and you can look at your personal abilities, strengths, and talents. Now, I've worked with countless people over the years. For 30 years, I have worked with numerology. I've done probably an average of 300 one-on-one readings each and every year. That's almost one a day. And constantly, I am amazed at what comes up for people and who they are and how they have the ability to do what they do. And they say, well, doesn't everybody do this? No, when the ability is yours, you don't recognize that other people don't have this. You think everybody is equal in these things. So what I'm going to do at the moment, I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about here. I'm going to take 3 celebrities and I'm going to give the names to you, and I'm going to tell you what is in their names and why they are so perfect as being an actor, an actress, or a celebrity. So first of all, let's take a look at Julia Roberts. Now, Julia, what she says to the universe, number one, she is a trend setter. She is one of a kind. She stands out, and she is also a trailblazer. She has courage and she has boldness to take a risk. Okay, that's all in the first letter of her name. Then we go to the U, and this is the storyteller within her. Now, she is rich with stories, so she becomes an actress on a stage, and this is her way of connecting with the world. She is awesome, just totally amazing. So we go to the L, and she's about creativity, endless creativity. She is curious. She is just one of a kind out there with what she knows. Let's go on to the I. She has an amazing intelligence. Now, on the earth, we have an IQ system, and it's pretty much, well, what can you learn? What can you regurgitate on a test? And, how are you putting all this together? Well, now, if we start looking at Julia Roberts, she has a mind that is touched in with the universe. She pulls concepts out of the air, and she then is able to tell us things that other people don't know. We'll say, Julia, how'd you know this? She says, I don't know, I just know. So this is another gift that she has. She ends her name with an A. She likes to please people. And so this is quite awesome. This is very helpful to us. So these are what the values or the codes as we uncode them and unveil them for Julia. Now, there's one other thing in her last name that is of specific notoriety, and that is that she is an empath. She understands what people require in their lives. So she puts that on stage. She just does that for us naturally. She is not only a trendsetter, but she's an influencer, and her light is felt way out there. So that's number one. Look at all the things that were just in her first name. Just amazing, and they all work, they all fit in. Now, number two, I'm going to do Johnny Depp. He's been recently in the news, and we know him from Pirates of the Caribbean. This crazy pirate has a kind of a character all his own. So let's look at Johnny. Jay, again, that leader, that trendsetter. He's kind of like Indiana Jones, and but all in a pirate's way of being. He's entertaining and fun, and we like looking at him, and we kind of connect with him. He is courageous, he is bold, he is not caring about people who are following him, or he knows he's a leader. He came here to stand out, not to fit in. So that's very, very good. We go on to the O, and the O for him, if his ducks are in a row, then the universe supports him in being who he wishes to be. And that is very evident. The H says that he is comfortable with wealth. Well, look at the court case. He was given $15 million. That's sizable. You look at Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes had 3 H's in his name. He certainly knew about wealth. Now, if the H is in your name and you don't have your wealth yet, you're working on it. So understand that that is in your name. How about 2 N's? That means Johnny Depp is very organized, if you will. He crosses his T's and dots his I's in the specific way that he likes to have people see him. And certainly being in an actor's position, that would be very, very helpful. The Y on the end, that's his cleverness. He's always pulling something. He's kind of like a magician. He pulls a rabbit out of a hat. Now look at that. Now he also has in his last name this ability to be an empath. He knows also what people are requiring and what is really urgent in what he does for a living. So that's Johnny Depp. You can see how his abilities and his strengths fit him in his sweet spot for prosperity. Now, I'm going to give you one more, and that is George Lucas, Star Wars. Look at the impact that Star Wars has had and continues to have. So let's look at his last name. The L is all about creativity. It's also about curiosity. Well, Star Wars was certainly, curiosity was certainly a requirement for Star Wars, for heaven's sake. All right, so all of that fits in, and he allows creativity, and creativity kind of exudes from him. Now, the U, he's a storyteller, guys, and of epic proportion. Then the C goes on to say much more in creativity. So also, we have the A there. He's one of a kind. He's a trendsetter. He's an Indiana Jones. He's putting out something that will be remembered through the ages. And he ends the name with an S. And by the way, he says, I am a leader. I stand out. I'm unique. I'm different. There's nobody like me. So you can all of a sudden look at the incredible value of your name. You have these abilities, you have these talents, and maybe you don't really know it yet. So in the workshop that I'm putting out, it's the creme de la creme of numerology. Numerology used to be ho-hum, yeah, that's numbers. In 500 BC, a guy by the name of Pythagoras, who was an incredibly brilliant mathematician, thought up the system that if you have an alphabet, you take each letter in the alphabet and give it a number. And the number, like saying A equals 1 equals all these descriptive words. Now, this is a totally simplistic view because numerology has many, many, many layers. And you could go to the library and pull out a book or look online, et cetera, et cetera. But you are not going to get into the more difficult parts because it's just way too difficult and complex. However, if you look at the simple things, you're going to know yourself better. You're going to know consonants, talk about the lessons that you are learning. And then you can take this little do-it-yourself thing and find out more about your significant other, about your friends. What about your kids and your grandkids? Wouldn't it be incredible if you knew who they were going to be years down the line and you already knew that, so that you could be the influence for them now? This is beyond clever. It's beyond astounding. It's a new way of being. Several years ago, I looked at the name as it sat on the page, two-dimensional, and I thought, with what we know about the energetics of the numbers or the science of numbers, I could take somebody that I didn't know and make a composite of them, and it's almost like they climb off the page and they become real. It's the person behind the name. I've had people tell me, I didn't think I liked my name before now. And now I'm taking a different look at my name, for heaven's sake. Who knew that we had all of these decodes in our name and that it led to our experiences, and our experiences lead us to our dreams that we can live now? This is the beauty, if you will, of the fifth dimension, and how numbers are continuing to move with us and through us in a new total way. There are words that are far more powerful than others. Faith is a word, if you pull it apart, is a manifesting word. Look at the fact that we do our prayers and we have faith in our Maker, and that we have faith that our dreams will come and come to fruition. And again, we come back to this little equation. Your name equals your hopes, dreams, and visions for the future. So in the fifth dimension, we're going to be working in this equal sign. We're going to learn how to be active with our who we are and what we say we'd like to live like every day, and then create from that spot. So the universe basically says that, years ago I said, well, I'm not a game player. I have had to since revise that, because if you're not a game player with the universal rules in each dimension, you are simply not going to be playing the game. So what is the game here? Well, the universe says, hey, come play with this like life is a dance. And they're saying, I don't care what dance you do. You can do a line dance, a square dance, a waltz, a salsa. I mean, the universe is ready for anything. I'm just getting chills on that. The universe is speaking through me and saying, well, we like to be entertained. And also, please be aware that the universe likes to be thanked. The fact that they have no bodies, they don't need gold, they don't need silver, they don't need money, but they do cherish gratitude. So we also say thank you to the universe, constant thanks and constant gratitude. Have a journal that is your gratitude journal. What are you thankful for? Tell the universe, thank you, thank you, thank you. What they tell me is it's just in case we don't hear the first two that you say the third time. And then they whisper in my ear, they say, but we always hear. So they are waiting for us and they have to be asked. So this is the asking portion, so that they can give us all these little glimmers of things that they think might be workable for us. We have to go into action to say, oh yeah, this works. This person is great. This is a perfect person for me. Or you go into maybe a luncheon with somebody and after a half hour, you're like, oh, I don't think so. Well, thank the universe and say, next, please. And they'll be just right on for the next. Okay. So these are all really important factors, something that is so incredibly important for us to understand. So at this point, I would like to give a little bit of insight to the numbers of the years that we are in. If you'll, I'll just go one back to 2021. If you add the numbers, you have 2 + 2 is 4, + 1 is 5. All right, the energy of 5 is expansion, but that's only workable expansion. Unfortunately, in 2021, we had many, many factors of things falling apart. The hospital scene is not working. The school system is not working. We need inroads for religion. Much of our food supply, we're finding out, is tainted, or that it's gotten so important to continue to use the land over and over again that it's being over fertilized. And all of that is going into our body. Okay. So in 2021, we had a lot of things that were falling apart. Now, if things are handled, then 2022 could be healing and putting things back together again. Well, we're a ways from that. So we still have things that are kind of still falling apart. 6 says we reveal truths. Okay. And also a 6 is who's in charge. Okay. So we need to take a look at if we're asking for freedom. Maybe it's an inside job as well as the outer things that are there. This is all in the 6 vibration. So notice that new healing devices, such like Healy, that people are doing much more in the way of the healing industry, that is becoming far more important. That's all in a 6 year. Isn't that interesting? Energy and what follows the energy. So let's for a moment look at 2023. Add it up, comes to a 7. Well, in a 7, you gather your information or your knowledge, and you sort of develop something with it. It's like planting a garden. So you've got to till the soil, you have to put in good nutrients, you plant the seeds, you water, you wait for the little plants to grow, and then you foster and nourish the plants. So the 7 vibration is all about growing your ideal garden. So what do you want to grow? You want to grow your business, how you're connecting to people, being, of course, known in the universe so that the universe helps you on this. Again, it's a partnership with you and the universe, not just you equal the universe and have your hopes and dreams on the other side of that equal sign. So what are you doing? You're doing that. Now, 7 can denote a breakthrough. And we could very definitely see many breakthroughs, one of which would be moving into the Aquarian age further, understanding much more of what the 5th dimension is, taking shortcuts. Now, guys, if there's anything that I look for and that I'm known for, it's shortcuts to having what you desire or your dreams. Let's have it now, you know. So that's what I'm aiming at. That's what the universe gives me. That's what I teach. That's what I share. All of these things could be breakthroughs for you, and certainly breakthroughs to the point where at maybe the beginning of this coming year, you may be putting concepts together in a much more advanced place. So take that through your year, have 7 be a breakthrough year. Then we get to 2024. This is the year that we look to manifestation. All right, not to say that in the breakthrough of 7 that there might not be sufficient or sizable income. However, in that 8 year, it's going to be advanced for you. Really see yourself, feel yourself. Now, this is where the senses come in. This is essential. Oh, I just got a message on there. So the universe is speeding up, okay? Understand that. It's speeding up so that we can actually have the hopes, wishes, and dreams that we say. So the 8-year again will learn much more about how to manifest and manifest quickly and use the universe and use the inertia that we can create and send through our bodies. And this is all advanced learning, but look how much further you could actually be ahead by planning all these things and using your shortcuts now. So, not saying that this is easy. Fifth dimension, when we look at it, could seem like, oh, it's heaven on earth. But that's basically at the base of what we can do. All right. So take all of your senses. This is another fast way into things. You can meditate with this, you can sit quietly, but think about your dreams, hopes, and wishes. Think about the evolution of humanity. Think about what you would like to see. I wonder what it would be like if that's where we could start rather than where we finish or where we hope to finish. Now, hope is not going to get you there. We need to go back to that equal sign and be active so that our future actually is created for us and is easy to have. Now, see it in depth. I'm to understand that as we go into the fifth dimension, that we have double the senses that we have now. And you'll say, well, how could that be? Well, we are going to take on super identities. You know, what about at night when you go to sleep and you think about yourself as, you know, Superman or you know, any number of the higher personages that we could be, Wonder Woman, um, all of those. Think of yourself and see yourself from that vantage point. This is what I'm talking about. That is a more advanced vision. That's a deeper vision. It's almost a new sense. And that's where we need to go and to be. Then we need to hear. Let's hear beyond the hearing. Let's taste. You know, we don't really talk about tasting our environment. Ask what that would taste like. You know, maybe it's a flavor that you've never had before, but take advantage of that and see and tune into what your body is trying to tell you. It's all of these points are so incredibly important. Then what are you smelling? Is it, you know, it's certainly not probably metallic or, you know, a fertilizer smell, but maybe it's the beauty of roses and um, just the best that you can possibly imagine. The essential oils, the scent of beautiful roses. See those flowers blooming. See your dream coming into fruition. Seeing yourself in the middle of the dream, acting out what's truly there for you. The faster you do that, to the extent that that can be, that's going to be getting you there that much quicker. And if you do it from the standpoint of everything that you love, that's going to get you there even faster. Your head's going to spin. You know, the mind will work more clearly. using all of your senses in a double way or in a deeper sense. What would that mean to you? Ask the universe, what would it be like if I had a deeper sense of smell? What would I be tuning into? Also, the sensory of your body. We're going to have an exponentialized intuition. We don't have that now. We may think we do, but notice yourself today as opposed to where you were a year ago or 2 years ago or 5 years ago. You are not tuning into the things that you're tuning into now. You didn't have a Healy device to help your memory and work on higher sets of thinking. And you didn't know that your voice and your name was so incredibly important. You didn't know that when you were born, you were given 3 precious gifts. Number 1, your name. Number 2, your birth date. And number 3, this is one that very few people know about. You were given a life manual that you could look at day to day and understand that where you were in any given circumstance. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, you can look at whatever date it is. You can add month, day, and current year, and you'll know exactly where you are on the scheme of things. Or you can just add up the year where you were born and know that you are learning throughout your whole lifetime what that number is. You know, we're inundated with numbers. I have come up with a PDF that's called Meaning of Recurring Numbers. I have set it up. If you'll send your email to me at askpeppe@live.com, I'll gladly send you a copy of that. That's my freebie to you. And you will know instantaneously when you see 1111, 222, 555. You can then look at that and know exactly what the universe is trying to tell you. Well, that's pretty handy dandy. And that's available to us. So as we go into the future, we are going to have more and more and more insight to what the universe really wants to tell us and really wants to play with us on. All of these things are so incredible. If you miss things that are in the foundation of who you are, you're going to be out of balance, not knowing what to look like, what to look for, not knowing who you are in the picture of things. So really what we're doing here is giving you step 1, step 2, step 3, things to eliminate from your current life so that you can have a clear plate onto what is coming for you, which is much higher in mindset and abilities, etc., than where you are now. It's about reaching. So as you enter your day each day, ask the universe to show you miracles. Just ask. Show me miracles today, universe. Then it's you again working in that equal sign between your name and your dreams and wishes and your visions, of course. And then you're looking for miracles during the day. Now, at the end of the day, the universe would love you to chime in and say, oh, universe, thank you, thank you, thank you. I found 2 miracles today. You know, we're on a treasure hunt. This is so important, is the treasure hunt of life. You want those little golden nuggets and those jewels to appear. Well, this way they will appear faster. So in any case, I just wanted to kind of whet your appetite for the future and give you some precious gems to look forward to, and in some ways how to ask, and then you have to be open to receive. Okay, this also is equally as critical. If you don't feel that you deserve your dreams, it's going to be harder to have them. If you don't feel that you're up to your dreams with confidence or whatever else, then you're not going to have your dreams that much sooner. So allow you to be you and to be in the day, in the present time. And this will hurry things along, even if you think you're wasting time because you're having some fun. Fun is also a doorway to the future that you can get to much faster when we are flexible, when we're moving, when we're pliable. All of these beautiful things can come in so much faster to us. And your guides and teachers can work with you much more easily. So I'm leaving you at this point with, I hope, a book full of writings and things that I could share with you. I really wanted to pack the hour or 45 minutes and really give you just lots of good information. So again, you can connect with me on askpeppe.com. I've got lots of things that are in the workings, and come play with me. You know, many times in my life, oh, she's asking me if I have time. Of course, give me somebody's first name, and I will gladly decode it.
Can you do Melora?
Okay, let's see. Spell it.
Melora.
O-R-A. Sure. All right. So first thing that said, Melora's asking for stable, solid, and secure foundation. Now, whether she already has that or working on it, that's what the M stands for. The O, we've had a touching of that. If she has her ducks in a row, the universe is going to absolutely support her in whatever she believes is true. That she'll have a leg up on most people unless they have an O value as the first O in their name. The L, oh my goodness, lots of creativity. Oh, goodness sake, curiosity, creativity, playfulness, having fun. Fun to her is not a dirty word. Okay, another O, we've covered that. R is an interesting one. She is developing an astounding sense of who she is in alignment with her creator. And okay, so you said last was A. All right, so I find it interesting that she puts the A of leadership at the end of her name, because it's kind of like, well, you know, I can always lead. I prefer to have other people do that so that I can play and do my own thing. But yes, I can lead. I'm one of a kind. I've got things to share. I don't need to fit in. I can be a leader. I can be a trendsetter. I have courage.
Yeah,
Now,
me too. And yeah, thanks for asking. You know, just if it was a different piece.
Thank you. So in any case, Melora with the A at the end, she loves to support other people and be a leadership to others, and to be pleasing, not in a supportive, real way. Okay, so let's see. 4, 10, 16, 20, 16, 25, 26. Okay, she's a manifester. The formula for this comes out to be an 8. So basically, whatever she's desiring in her life, she has a lot of tricks in her bag to make sure that those rabbits keep coming out of the hat. So anyway, that's Melora, and that's what is said there for a decode. And do you have another one?
Yes. Can you do Robin, Robin?
Sure. Okay, so Robin, front and center, says, I am one with my maker. I intertwine, and that's what my life is about. Now we have an O here as well, so that if she's got all of her things in a row, the universe will support her. The B says that she is welcoming. She opens her front door and says, come on in. I'm here to just be the welcoming committee, and we're going to have a good time. Just a lot of chills with that one. We must be right on there. The I says that she has this cosmic intelligence. She's got something that she knows that it is just tucked into the universe, and the universe will send her a concept or a download, and then she's going for the next days, weeks, month, however long it is. She's pulling in little bits from here all over the place to create that in her life. And that's how her mind works. You know, she's progressive. She'll process. Sometimes she needs time alone to do some processing, but oh my goodness, she's concept driven. That's profound. And she has an N at the end, which means that she is organized, and that at least one avenue of her life, she crosses her T's, dots her I's, and she knows what she knows. So let's add up the formula. Okay, so that's a 31 or a 4. What she says is, hey, I'm working my whole life to be stable, solid, and secure. I stand on a firm matrix so that I can be who I am. I don't have to think about the matrix. It's there for me, and it supports me. So that's all in Robin's name. Hope that sounds right on track. Do you want to do one more or not?
Well, actually, I would like for you to talk about your workshop and let everyone know how we can join it.
Okay. Number one, this is a tool you will use for the rest of your life. It's a workshop. It's 3 hours, and we're going to look at the strengths, abilities, and talents that you have, how you're seen in the world, your purpose, your driven purpose of why you're here, and your legacy. What are you going to leave behind? What are your kids and grandkids and other people gonna take a look at? Once you see this for yourself and you kind of drink it in, then you can start using it with your significant other, your kids, your grandkids, your friends, your potential clients, anybody who's a person with the name, which is all of us. You'll have an insight to who that person is, and you'll know the personality before you even meet the person. This is such an incredible workshop. It's $67. We're having it. I'm coupling with a gal who does qigong, and she's my partner. She's my Zoom master, if you will, and her name is Blanche Boyce, just a wonderful person. And so we're putting this together on the 23rd, Thursday, from 1 to 4 Pacific time. Now we are doing replays, so if you can't be there, you'll at least have all the information and all the insight. We're giving the 2 bonuses, that is the meanings of recurring numbers. Also, we're going to have a 1-hour Q&A next Monday night, so that when people have questions, then we can answer the questions. This can be as light and just skimming off the top, or you can go as deep as you would like. I mean, this gives all of the earmarks of all of the things that we're here to learn as for ourselves as a person, and how we relate to humanity and other beings, because we're here to connect. Otherwise, why would we have a body? So this is it in a nutshell. And I'd love to see all of you there. This is really, really intensely urgent information. And that's usually what I get, is what we immediately need to know. And so, bring your questions. I'd say we have to have you bring your name at birth and the full spelling. No certificate, no birth certificate is needed. So your name at birth, because we're going to decode that, and we'll look at every single noun and not noun, consonant and vowel. Okay, what each and every one needs. We have a handy little dandy little calculator that all you have to do is push in your name, and it gives you the values and it gives you the words. It's really clever how it's been set up. So it couldn't be easier. And then you can get right into the meat of the situation and get all the goodies. And this is not something that is for personal, it's for personal gain, but not for your immediate money. You are not allowed to teach this. I know it won't happen anyway, because I have connections with the universe that this is proprietary information. But it's also essential that each of us know all of this information. So questions,
What do you have, like a website that people can go to register?
Let's see here. Come to my Facebook group, and I'll have the information to put in there. For some reason, I didn't write it on here. So come to Pepper Freye. I think it's spelled on that Freye. And I will have it in the comments and right at the top there, so that everybody can join in and get all the goodies and pay for the workshop. Okay.
Fantastic.
Thank you
we'll
so much.
Also share it on our Solstice Sync Up Facebook page as well, Pepper.
Okay, I will get that to you right as we get off of here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you to your audience. Thank you for Healy. I know I didn't talk about Healy, but that has been a part of my life for at least a year. And I couldn't live without it. It's my doctor in my pocket. And, it keeps Pepper going. It's my